Local group Ankara Bilkent. Local group Ankara Metu. Local group Auvergne. Local group Aveiro. Local group Barcelona. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Belgrade. Local group Berlin. Local group Braunschweig. Local group Bremen. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Brussels. Local group Bucharest. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Budapest. Local group Calabria. Local group Cartagena. Local group Coimbra will be proxied by local group Porto. Local group Porto, do you have 2 sets of voting sheets? Thank you. Local group Darmstadt. Local group Delft will be proxied by local group Groningen. Local group Dortmund will be proxied by local group Paderborn. Groningen, Paderborn, do you have 2 sets of voting sheets? Okay. Local group Dresden. Local group Eindhoven. Local group Famagusta. Local group Gdansk. Local group Gothenburg.
So I would say Jacek, and then everybody says boy. Jacek!
Local group Graz will be proxied by local group Vienna. Local group Grenoble. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Groningen. Local group Hamburg. Local group Helsinki. Local group Ilmenau. Local group Istanbul Boğaziçi. Local group Istanbul ITU. Local group Istanbul Yıldız. Local group İzmir DU. Local group İzmir Economy. Local group Kaiserslautern. Local group Karlsruhe. Local group Karlstadt will be proxied by local group Lund. Local group Lund, do you have 2 sets of voting sheets? Okay, thank you. Local group Krakow. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Kiev. Local group Lappeenranta. Local group Liège. Local group Linköping. Local group Lisbon. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Lula. Local group Lund. Local group Lyon will today be proxied by a local group Grenoble. Local group Grenoble, do you have 2 sets of voting sheets? Oh, wow. Smart, thank you. Local group Madrid. Local group Milan excuses themselves. Local group Minho. Local group Minsk excuses themselves. Local group Moscow.
We say suka, you say that. Suka. Yeah. Suka. Yeah. Suka, suka, suka.
Local group Munich. Local group Novi Sad. Local group Oulu.
Pohjois-Pohjanmaalta löytyy erikoinen paikka. Siellä paska haisee ja soi vain valalaikka. Jospa siellä kännipäissään suistun pyörätieltä. Itsessäni etsittävä on mun koulumieltä.
Local group Paderborn. Local group Piraeus. Local group Porto. Local group St. Petersburg. Local group Seville. Local group Ziegen. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Skopje. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Sofia. Local group Stockholm. Local group Tallinn. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Tampere. Local group Targu Mureș. Local group Trondheim will be proxied by local group Lappeenranta. Local group Vaasa will be proxied by local group Oulu, and Lucas would like to sing once more the Vaasa song. Thank you. I'm sure local group Vaza is very happy that they have Lucas. Just to check, La Peranta and Olu, do you have 2 sets of voting sheets? Good. Local group Vienna. Local group Warsaw. Local group Xanthi. Local group Zagreb will be proxied by local group Skopje. Skopje, do you have 2 sets of voting sheets? Thank you. Now we will continue with observer local groups. Local group Lausanne excuses themselves. Local group Niš. Thank you for your efficiency. Now we will continue with guest local groups. Local group Baku excuses themselves. Local group Sarajevo. Thank you for your efficiency. And I proceed now with the externals. AEG. Best.
You're simply the best.
ESTEC. Thank you for your efficiency. VVE. And finally, the leadership generation ex-steamers. Thank you, everyone. That's that.
Okay, again, very nice quorum, amazing songs. And with that, I would like to close agenda point 36, quorum of the council and enlistment of the votes by proxy. Then, before we go to the voting results, I have some small announcements. I see a jacket, a pen, and a vape over there. Very interesting objects, but please pick up your stuff. The stage is not really a place to leave your stuff, so that would be nice. Also, someone lost their phone yesterday, and since the party was only for steamers, if someone found a phone, please return it back to Irem Çakır of LG Istanbul ITU. If you don't know what it is, you can bring the phone here and then we can arrange it. But I really hope someone found the phone. So, with no further ado, I would like to move to the voting results. Since this agenda point was already open, we go to agenda point 34, voting results. I would like to call the voting committee on stage.
All right. Good morning, all. We voted yesterday during the lunch, so here are the results. So without further ado, let's go to those. So we have 2 categories of votes. The ones that have to pass with a 50% majority and the ones with 2/3 majority. And yeah, this is you. Let's go with the 50% ones first. So the overruling of the membership regulation 4.2, 68 cast votes, 35 required. Here's the result. So the regulations are overruled. Next, we have the approval of the annual accounts. Again, 68 cast, 35 needed, and drum roll, they are approved. And last one, the proposal not to move to retained earnings. Same thing here, 68 cast, 35 needed, and drum roll. Oh, nice. So they're not moved.
Okay, so now for the application for full membership of NIS, we need to require percentage of 66.67, otherwise 46, and I need more. It's approved. Welcome to a full membership LG NIS. Congrats, guys. Let's keep going. Now, we are seeing the results for the proposal for exclusions of LG Warsaw. I will ask if the results are negative, or can I explain? If LG Warsaw is good, please don't clap in the symbol of respect, okay? So, there's a need of 46 votes in approve to exclude LG Warsaw. As I said, please don't clap if the result is negative, but you can clap because LG Warsaw is not excluded. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, voting committee. Amazing voting results. And with that, I close agenda point 34, voting results 1. Then we have a very interesting motion. Agenda point was still open, so we go to agenda point 13, motions and proposals. I would like to, oh, sorry guys. I would like to ask the RCs on stage.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So, we are the regional coordinators, as I hope all of you already know. And for today, we have a very special motion for you guys. So, any further ado, we have a motion for general activeness and respectful behavior in the GA.
To the context, we have some expectations towards you, to how you should act during the GA. This is what we expect from you. We have very important topics we want to talk about. So just imagine being this interested and this excited about everything that we're talking about here. This is what we want.
But unfortunately, that's not the case, and that's pity. So we decided to do something about it.
And yeah, we can go to next slide because we have 7 people who will be responsible for that as the Punisher, as you can see. And to the motion itself, we will create a new position called Punishers during council meeting Seville. And the regional coordinators will act as Punisher and be responsible for keeping the audience awake and attentive during the General Assemblies.
Yep. So what will happen if the motion is accepted? Well, as we've just stated, the regional coordinators will be the punishers, and what this basically means is that we will roam the GA rooms as the board has done in the past few days, making sure that everybody's nice, awake, and attentive. And if we see that some of you are slipping in your attention, then we'll be right there to help you in any way that we see fit, whether that's waking you up, sending your cute, sleepy face to the GA, general chat, or maybe giving you a little punishment that you can do up with the stolen name tags, stolen flags, yada, yada, yada. And our mandate will, of course, end after this council meeting to see what happens next. Yeah.
But what if it's not got accepted? As we were saying, people in this case will get bored, they will not have fun, but most of it, they will continue sleeping in the GA. Thankfully, I'm not seeing anyone, almost, maybe that way, we'll see. Nobody will listen to the presenters. Thankfully, you are listening to us. And to finally, nobody will understand what they are voting for. So, you do you.
Ah, come on, that looks pretty cool.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we have time. Oh, now we have time for some questions. Not that much time, so I see 3 people standing. Let's get a microphone over there, please. So these 3 are the first and the last question. Oh, first delegate, sorry, I didn't see you over there. Yeah, you first, and then another microphone to there. You can talk.
Mira Kozic, LG Belgrade, can you give us any example of a possible punishment in case that you catch any of us?
Well, if you're not paying attention, I would say the punishment is just looking at you very angrily and waking you up if you're sleeping. If you are actually very sleepy and we decide to take a picture and send it to the chat, then the punishment will be at the same time as all of the other punishments. For example, for stealing the flags and stealing the name tags. And I think usually, well, it's not me who decides those, so somebody else will.
Okay, thank you. Then we go to the delegate of LG Kiev.
Hi, Anna Bramets, LG Kyiv. So my question is, what will happen if the Punisher will sleep?
Obviously, we don't tend to sleep as responsible punishers and regional coordinators, but if something like this happens, of course, we will be the ones who will be punished afterwards.
But there is no such possibility.
No, never mind.
Yeah. Very quick bullshit in the end, I think. Very quick, because we don't have time.
Kinkosa from LG I have a photo of Shoke was sleeping yesterday. So
Outside of GA, ho, ho, ho, ho, ho.
and actually you were playing with your phone and fell asleep. So
Okay, please send the photo to Hannes Martin. I love Litvip activities. Last question from Lucas, I think.
But,
yes, last question. Let's go.
We will make sure that Shoke gets punished.
Hi, Lucas Fischer, LG Ilmenau. If I recall correctly, last CM Seville was the first time we ever had a Punisher, and no Punisher or team of Punisher has ever come close to him. So why do you think you need 7 Punishers when he was able to do it alone?
Well, as we are leaders in this generation, we also have other stuff to do in the GAs, for example, pay attention in asking questions and be active in all of the ways. So that's why we thought it would be good to divide the workload. So the punishers who are actively on duty will make sure that there is not a single person who's sleeping in the GA. But thank you for your question.
Okay, thank you for the questions. I would like to ask the voting committee on stage. Because then we will have an open voting on this motion. So please already grab your voting ballots, and then the voting committee will explain further what to do.
Okay, guys, so please pay attention. So now we will vote if we want to have this. There's a question over
Sorry,
there.
there's a technical over there. Can we please get a microphone up there? Eric, please stand up next time when you have a question.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Eric Viktor Pönne-Jashinsky, local group Gothenburg, on behalf of local group Niche. I think Niche doesn't have voting sheets to vote.
Oh, very fair. The voting sheets will come to you right now. The voting committee can continue. Adriaan, run. Yeah, voting committee, please continue.
So guys, in this motion, we will decide if we want to have this amazing team of punishers or not. So, if you raise your green sheet, you will approve that we will have this team of punishers now, from now on the GAs. If you raise your yellow sheet, your opinion is absent. And if you raise your red sheet, it's because you reject this motion. So please, I will ask you to raise the sheets that you want. Higher, please.
Please still keep them high in the air. All right, technical in the end. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. Please keep them high and don't switch the ballots.
Does everybody have their voting sheet up? We are missing one vote.
Is there technical in the back or?
Included. Okay, then we have all. Okay. Yeah, and those ones. Yes, okay. The motion is passed with the majority of.
I see a question over there, Thomas.
Oh.
Like officially, you don't need to report on that with open voting. Like 50% majority was reached, but I think it's still nice to mention it. So.
So we had 35 greens, 10 yellows, and 25 red ones. Yes.
Thank you, voting committee. Yeah, we will keep this agenda point open. Agenda point 13, motions and proposals. Since we were still talking about voting, Adrian also has a nice announcement about voting. And after that, I will also give the word to Militin for another announcement. But Adrian, please. Adrian. Announcement about voting.
I want to remind all the delegates that your biggest right in this council is to vote, so please try to not forget to vote or to submit your ballot in time or to make sure that your ballot has been submitted. We had some local group that didn't vote on the last voting session because they did not submit the ballot, so please pay attention to this for the next voting session.
Thank you, Adrian. I will now give the word to Militin.
Speaking of all of the votings, today we will have some important presentations which you will be voting upon. If you do, as a reminder, if you do have any other motions or amendments to board proposals, please do approach us beforehand so that we can arrange timely your presentation and check if the legality is okay. As well, at the end of the day, we will have elections for 71st Council meeting and for the brain trainer. If anyone is also interested or ever has thought, please do approach us to assess the situation and to tell you how it all works if you're interested in applying. Thank you.
Thank you, Militin. Those were the announcements. And with that, I would like to open agenda point 37, board report of the current year. And I would like to invite the board on stage. Sorry.
Could we please get the stick microphone, the one that's running around, and replace this?
Thank you, Fran. We can stop with the whistling, and welcome to another presentation by the board. Hope you didn't get sick of us. We will have some more. And today we will be presenting you our board goals that we have decided upon in the last few months and some of the things that we will work on together in the following months for the rest of our mandate. Now, first of all, what are board goals? We have all 6 of us individually applied for the 35th Board of Esteem with our own goals, but during the handover period, in the first few months of our mandate, we have worked together to find some common areas where we are agreeing that we want to see change in the network that we will work on independently of our positions in the board. Now, you might be wondering why the board goals were not posted on Ilium yet. We have decided to take a slow and steady approach to ensure that We agree on this fully to have a good structure that we all are supporting and are working on for the rest of our mandate. And it will be posted on Ilium later today. And we want to present it to you now at the council meeting. We started working on them at board meeting 1 in July, where we came up with common ideas and areas of work. Then in September at Leaders Forum, we gathered input from the leaders, took that into account in structuring them better, and right after that, at board meeting 2 in Gdańsk, we finalized the structure and the content, and during the next month of October, we have finalized really the content and how to present them to the network. Now, you will notice that these are not really SMART goals. We decided to not go with a typical way of having action points and deadlines, as these are more of the values and the directions that we want to see the network improve on. These are in actual structure of WISE goals, as it's also commonly known, not something that we came up with. It's an acronym for written, integrated, synergetic, and expansive goals. And you will notice that throughout our presentation, hopefully. Now, going on to actual board goals themselves, we have 4: accountability and central esteem and transparency, innovation and centralization, community, and advocacy of IEM and IEM students. I will give now a word to my co-boardies to continue.
Hello again. So the first goal, as Milutin presented just now to you, would be the accountability in central meaning esteem, and transparency. So let's look at what is meant by this. So when it comes to accountability, we do not only mean a specific group of people, we mean 3 main parts of central esteem, which is the board, which are the leaders, and which are the team members, who all work very hard to make events happen, to make the esteem as a association running smoothly. So let's look at first the board. The most important part for us and to present to you and for you to be aware of is that we take accountability and transparency very seriously, and we try very much to be as open as possible with the network, with our leaders, and every single person working with us to make this organization as great as it is. But also we really want to include this part to highlight to every single one of you here that when we talk about this, we do mean ourselves as well. There are 6 of us who also make sure that each one of us is being as transparent, as fair, as open as possible. So this will always include the board of esteem as well. Secondly, we have leaders. Leaders are our greatest assets and our greatest help when it comes to work in the network. They represent and they lead and they take care of our committees, of our departments, of our services, of our task groups, and so on. But when it comes to accountability and responsibility, we have noticed that over the years there were some inconsistencies in defining the responsibilities, in the workload, in the motivation, of course, and as well as the task distribution. In order to tackle this, we will be looking into some standardized documents, standardized responsibilities that each leader would follow regardless of the position, and of course communication that would be standardized throughout board responsibilities as well, to make sure that everyone is on the same page, everyone is expected to do the same amount of work as a baseline, and then we would build on to that. Finally, what we mean by this is, of course, also the team members. It is a different situation, of course, but team members are one of the great building blocks we have when it comes to work we do and the work that leaders do within their teams. Same and very similarly to how we would approach leaders, it would be with team members as well, but of course, greater responsibility is on the leaders, as they are responsible for the whole committee and not only a project or something specific in it, but some guidelines and some standardized responsibilities will be worked on and provided to team members. And I pass this on.
let's move on to the next part of our board goals, innovation and centralization. This board goal is structured in 3 different areas. We have the team structure, how central esteem is working, how it's organized. The second part is the people that are working in esteem, but also the people that are thinking about joining esteem, all of you, all of us, and the support for every single esteemer. And then the last part is central esteem, how is it working, and working there on improving the structure and the quality over the entire network and standardizing how the work is being done to improve quality. So, yes, I try my best. So to move on for the team structure. As I said, esteem has a lot of different teams and a lot of people working in central esteem on a lot of different levels. And there we have differences in how they work. Some positions are better communicated what they are doing than others. So here the goal is to centralize how they are working. In some entities there is some position, then there is a committee that is working on the same things. We will have a presentation on this specific topic after, I think right after this one, so we'll keep that short. And the other part is also with the specific positions, what they're responsible for. This whole thing is based on that. Yes, so as I mentioned, the next part is all about the people. We are a student organization, so one of the most important parts are the students that are part of esteem. All of our esteemers that are active in the local groups, that are active in central esteem, that are traveling, and we want to support all of them. We are working on different ways for the support of people thinking of joining esteem, people traveling in esteem, people building the network. Those are especially the future leaders. So if you think about it, we currently have a leadership generation, but next year we need a new one. We need people that move the network forward, and we aim to help you to grow into a leader. For that, we have a lot of different things. You might have heard about training new leaders. We plan to have that. With our employees that we need for the grant, we selected certain people to support the work there. And generally, it is our aim to help all of you become the best version of yourself.
Guys, please don't be on your phone. Pay attention to this presentation. Thank you.
And then the last part, also with the standardization of central esteem is a big community. We're all working together, but it is different. And we want to identify what exactly makes esteem, central esteem. A lot of central esteems there. And that is the part of what is esteem spirit, what is central spirit. There is a lot of different opinions what it should be, and we want to talk with you and gather your input and then decide on how we want to continue on. That is then also the part of the promotion of central esteem. How can we approach people that are not active, that could be all of you, and convince them actually working in central esteem is quite cool, and that will of course build on the identity of central esteem, where we have to be sure what even is central esteem and why it is nice to work there. Let's move on with the next topic.
Okay, what is linking all of us? It's this feeling of community, right? So we decided that we wanted to work on it. And this feeling of community is basically coming from all our members. So that's why this, we will try to work on this, and we divided this part in 2. So first of all, region and local group, and then second one, the central and local gap. So the first point is regional reshaping. Some of our region balance are not always very stable, and we want to make sure that they're all stable and diversified. So that's why we want to work on having more optimal region and region that would actually reach the aim. Then we have regional identity and purpose, also making sure that our region are not just a place where we're making motivational weekend and singing regional song. We also want region to be a place where local group can find the help they want and can share knowledge and exchange between each other. And then we have a streamlined contact and support to local group. There's a lot of source of information in STEAM, and sometimes for local responsible, local board, it's hard to get the information or to know where to find it. So that's why we want to streamline the contact via one person and making sure that the local group know how they can get help and who they can ask for this help. Then we have central and local gap. So first of all, local responsible are one of the biggest pillars of the bridge between central and local. However, there's still a gap. So we want to make sure that local responsible, active, and so on have enough knowledge to, about central STEAM in order to transmit this information to the local group and actually raise awareness about central and vice versa. And then we're fostering the link between central and local group. This is a broad topic, but we'll really try to make sure that the gap between local and central will be actually, will be at least less big, and we will really try to make sure that local will feel more closer to central, and that we will be able to raise awareness on what we're doing and how we can help you and so on. Yeah. No, we can go to the next one.
Sure, no worries. So that one is our fourth board goal, which is around the topic of advocacy. So yeah, I'll go straight with the beginning, up here, over here, yes. So I think this one we already saw, presentation is,
Guys, please stay awake, and also I see some people with sunglasses, very smart, but please take them off so we can see that you're also awake. Continue, Rob, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Max, no worries. So yes, I was saying, so I hope most of you were here during the first day, so I already presented this once under the framework of IEM Europe, but basically it represents who do we as a team want to present us to, who do we want to build connections with, and yeah, that is the answer of all those stakeholders represented by IEM Europe.
And we need to remember that we are STEAM, and we are the main organization of IAM students in Europe. So for that, we have the pool, and we want to be the representative of our studies. So for that, your voice matters, like the opinions that you have in your university, we can gather that, and for that is collecting all the opinions, or collecting what can we do, can we improve in the universities, and every opinion, everything that we want to achieve as a STEAM, as IAM students, we are here for doing that, and is the last point of us, but for us is the most important because we are here to gather the opinions and to promote to universities, professors, as we are doing here. And that's it.
Sorry. We will have a parallel session today where you can meet the board and our goals more to discuss. And we also have every month a board open office where you can ask us any question and discuss our goals and our work further on, which is in line of the transparency of the board work. But in the end, we would like to finish up with this nice quote, that difference is of the essence of humanity. Difference is an accident of birth, and it should therefore never be the source of hatred or conflict. The answer to difference is to respect it. Therein lies a most fundamental principle of peace. Respect for diversity. STEAM has 4 values, which we all very much align with. Diversity is one of them, and we want to share these values with you to move this network onwards in a further direction. Thank you.
Okay, now we have question time. Please stand up if you have any questions. Board, can you move a little bit to the side because I can only see the right side now. Let's start with Helen over there, and then also a mic to Sebastian, if it's possible. Let's start with Helen. Oh, sorry, I see a delegate. First, but Helen is fine. First Helen, then the delegate. Please get a mic to the delegate already, would be nice.
Can I go?
Yes.
Helen Güzel, local group Seville. In the beginning of the, first of all, congratulations on your goals. I know it's a very, very long and difficult process, and then I think you're doing so good so far. So in the beginning of the presentation, you mentioned that you take transparency very seriously. Then what is the reason that you haven't shared your board goals before if you are taking this transparency this seriously? And how come you didn't receive any feedback from the previous board members and the active members, as is tradition to receive feedback during the process of shaping the board goals?
Thank you for
your
your
question.
question.
Next time, please keep the questions a little bit more brief, okay? Thank you.
I try to combine.
Okay, board.
Thank you for your question, Helen. Indeed, but what we agree as the six of us is that board goals are first and foremost something that is reflecting us, and it doesn't, how we shape them is how we would like to work on it, and we took a lot of time to work on it. We took a lot of time. We did take, we had a session, for example, at the Leaders Forum, where we shared it. We did approach, but personally, some previous board members, but we didn't feel like it is, ready enough and were confident enough to share it yet. So we decided to do this, as there are no guidelines when this should be posted. So this was just a common decision made.
Okay, there are a lot of questions, so keep the questions and the answers brief, please. Is it a 3 or 2, Eric? 3? Then a microphone to Eric and also a mic to the delegate so he can have the next question. Thank you for running. Amazing.
Hello, Eric Viktor Pemiashinsky, local group Gothenburg. Quick 3, is it possible that one of you guys run and share the presentation or something so that I can take a look at all the board goals in reading? That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, it is possible.
Thank you, Hannes. But thank you more, Lucia, for actually doing it. But then 2, because there was a 2 in the spirit of transparency, are you guys open-minded to maybe have some input about those goals and maybe work on them still throughout the mandate, change them based on what the network says?
Indeed, that is one of the reasons why the goals don't have 2 specific action points. We want to keep them flexible so that throughout the mandate we can add more things to them or reshape them a little bit, but still keep them in this framework. So yes, we are open for feedback, and that's why we have the parallel session and board open office hours every month.
Okay, then please the delegate over there and also microphone to Sebastian already. You can ask the question, yes.
Daniel Martinez, LG Cartagena. I have a question about the reshaping of the regions. Do you mean by that making more regions or move LGs from an actual region to another one, or any specific example do you have?
For the moment, we're investigating the need of this and seeing if some region needs to be reshaped or so on, but we want to make sure first that every region is working in an optimal way. So for the moment, I would say we're more investigating region by region to see if there's actually needs for it, and then yeah.
But just to maybe clarify that, in case there was any miscommunication on it, so for now, all the concrete ideas that we already have been communicated to the RCs, and also the local groups that could be affected know about this, and there is no plan on moving local groups that without their will from any system.
Sebastian Stark, LG Berlin. You chose ICE goals. How are you planning to measure it? Because it seems like it's a direction you want to go. Are you planning to measure it? If yes, how? If not, why?
Did you ask how do we plan to report on them, or?
How do you want to make them measurable?
Measurable. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, SMART goals are measured by how completed they are, but WISE goals are measured in what is done in that regard to improve in that area. So the reporting would be in the area of what was done and what was the effect of what was done.
Okay, then we go to Adrian behind Sebastian. I'm sorry, I didn't see who stood up first, but I think we can go to Mikey after Adrian. Oh, sorry. Adrian, then delegate, my bad.
Okay, hello, this is Adrian Bösel, LG Munich. The first question is just to be answered with one word. How many goals are these in total?
These are 4 goals split into multiple sub-areas.
And in total?
With these minor, I don't know by heart.
Okay, you don't know.
Should
So
be-
then my actual question is, how do you plan to prioritize these goals if they are too many to actually know how many these are?
We just didn't count them individually, but we did assess them, and we do believe that they are manageable and to work on during the mandate. We have already started working on some of them, and we'll discuss that more during the panel session.
Okay, then the delegate over there, please get a microphone to the delegate over here. You can ask your question.
Paul Sterling for the local group St. Petersburg. You've talked about diversity in regions, and what's, in your opinion, the main reason or reasons for a particular local group to be in one particular region?
Can you rephrase?
What's the main criteria for one local group to be in one region and for the other to be in the other region? What's like the main criteria, or if there are many, please disclose them.
Currently, it is local, like how close they are to each other, but it doesn't have to be that way. And it's also a part of our goal to look at different options if they make sense to reshape them. We know from partner organization different ways they are, and the goal here is to have a conversation with people and talk about how we could improve the regions. As a background, for example, we now have 7 regions. A few years ago we had 8, and in that time the amount of LGs increased, which is also one of the reasons why we decided to have this as one of our goals.
Thank you.
Okay, then we have a question from the delegate over there, and please get a mic over there.
So I am Barış from LG İstanbul Yıldız. You guys mentioned a road and solution for everybody regarding regional restructuring. As far as I know, one of the regional coordinators was trying to reshape his region and was trying to get help from the whole board. So I want to ask what actions and solutions have come from the board for the solution as you mentioned so far.
So currently, yeah, indeed, we already approached from regional coordinator, but for the moment it's a work in progress, I would say, and we're like investigating every possible solution and so on. We will update you, and we will update the network as soon as we have a concrete solution.
Thank you.
I see it too, so we prioritize the 2 over there, and after that we go to the delegate over there. So please, a microphone to Emir, the guy with the white sweater.
Emir Mus from LG İstanbul Yıldız. Can you specify the progress a little bit maybe, because he asked like what kind of actions have been taken so far?
Yes. I mean, yeah, right now we currently are speaking to the concerned local group that we want to. We're speaking with the concerned parties that should be involved in this, and we're also speaking with the regional coordinator quite actively in order to achieve a potential solution together. As we said and we mentioned, for us the most important is that every party agrees and every party is actually in favor of this, and we do not want to push anything in order, yeah, to have a fast answer. We want to make a good answer that will last in the time and not that will have to be reshaped in a few years.
Okay, then we have a question over there, and after that we go to Mikey. So please go.
Yeah, Scott Clemens from LG Darmstadt. You obviously did the financial reporting yesterday, but now that you've showed these goals, will you also have like a presentation of the progress of these goals in the following CM?
Yes, it's part of our mandatory agenda points. At every council meeting, we have a report such as this one on progress and board goals.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yes, Mikey, and then one of the ladies. Microphone to the ladies over there. I think Esther can have a microphone. Mikey.
Mikey German, LG Eindhoven. One of the issues I have with these board goals is that you have actual problems and solutions, but throughout the entire goals, I see a lack of understanding about the causes of these problems. For example, your problem is lack of innovation and lack of new members in departments. Solution is centralization, but I don't see the causes of these lack of innovation, lack of new members. So that begs the question, how valid do you think your goals are?
So you were talking about lack.
I think it was not very easy to hear, but if I got it correctly, it was quite difficult sometimes to find the problems, the causes of the goals, and you specifically talked about the centralization, the lack of innovation and new members, right? So if they can, if the board can explain the validness and what they base the goals on, like what are the causes, what are the causes and problems that led to these goals? I think that's the question, right? Yeah, okay. Specifically, centralization, lack of innovation and new members.
It's a difficult and complex question. It might require a bit more elaboration. Would you mind if we answer this in Google Chat later on?
Hi, I will give a short answer, but we will follow up on another one. So when choosing the board goals, it is first and foremost a reflection of the 6 of us, combined our individual goals and our goals as board members, not specifically vice president of something or president. It is also a reflection of the state of the network in our eyes, because those are the goals that we choose for ourselves to work on and dedicate extra time to try and fix these things. Of course, when you look at the 4 goals, it is something that we would ideally want to see fixed. And that's why for these specific ones, since they, as Milutin said, are very complex, that's why there are no specific metrics for it. They would be reported on and you would get updates continuously, but these are just reflection about, of what we would like to see in comparison to what it is currently, and also a combination of our individual goals and our goals as a team.
Okay. I think there's still quite a dissonance between the questions. So, Mikey, can you please put it on the Google chat? Because it was about more the causes, not about how it will go in the end. So, thank you, Mikey. Sorry, we have a delegate over there, which I have to prioritize. So, first a delegate and then Esther afterwards. And let's see how many people we have standing. I think the people that are still standing can ask their last questions. Helen, I'm sorry, you already asked the question. I don't think we have time for more. So please refer to Google Chat. Sebastian, let's go.
Hi. Sebastian Geishauser from local group Munich. Quick question from our local group. How does the fact that the board goals previously have not been shared integrate with your goal of transparency? And how does the fact that you can't go or don't measure your goals go along with that?
Can you, second part, I heard the first part, second part, sorry.
Quite complicated sentence, 1 second. How does the fact that you can't go or don't measure your goals go along with that?
First of all, thank you for the question.
No worries.
Local group Munich. First of all, not all board goals in the past from boards have been just metrics. It is a board's decision how they choose to structure it and measure it. So I hope that answers the first part of the question. And the second part, for the transparency, well, of course, it is to a degree what someone believes, but I wouldn't say that us not sharing it is not transparent. There are many things that we share and that we don't also get input and feedback on from the network as well. We have approached people to help us, that we, of course, when we approach people for 2 reasons. One reason is us respecting, of course, their opinion, and the second thing, people who are knowledgeable to tell us their opinion. So people have been approached. We did get feedback from our leaders, from past board members, from other people that we viewed as someone who would give us greater insight. But as for transparency, if I may say for myself at least, transparency is being open about the process that's been going on, and I think it's quite open from our side that the board goals have been worked on. So I wouldn't call it maybe lack of transparency, but of course, if you believe so, we do apologize. It wasn't in order to keep something away from the council and from the members, so yes, I hope that answers.
That question. Please keep your answers a bit more brief, because now we only have time for 2 more questions, and I see 3 delegates standing. Okay, sorry, we will just go to the last question. I saw you standing first, but we actually don't have time anymore. I'm sorry about that. Please put it in Google Chat also, Esther, sorry. Last question over there. No, sorry, there. And there will be a parallel session about this, so please go there as well. Or, well, you're actually already designated, but okay, you can go.
Maëlys Balat, local group Grenoble. I have a question about what Lucia said right before this question. You said that the goals are more like the direction you want to reach, and there are no metrics. But then how will you measure the success? What progress do you need to make to say that the goals have been reached or whatever?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think this question was already asked and already answered. Also, Sebastian asked about the metrics, so I think we can continue now also to save time. But you can also ask it again if it wasn't clear for you on Google Chats, it will be explained there. But I'm quite sure. Technical from Sebastian. Technical, sorry, we go over there. And after that I would like to continue because we really don't have time. So technical from Sebastian.
Sebastian Stark, LG Berlin. You shared the presentation, thank you for that. I feel like the goals in there are presented very differently. Do you have it written down in a document, and could you share that with us, please?
Yes, there is one. I will.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I will post it on Medium.
I see another technical from Eric.
Eric Viktor Pemejashinsky from local group Gothenburg. I'm wondering, because the parallel sessions are preset, right? So maybe people chose a different parallel sessions even though they might have wanted to listen more to your board goals. Would it be possible to make a little switcheroo at some point? Like just logistically, is it possible for you guys?
Thank you, Eric. Okay, I would then ask you, please, how many of you would be interested in the first slot of you staying here and us talking about the board goals with you? Please, a raise of hand.
So raise your hand if you're interested to look at the board goals, or be at the parallel session of the board goals.
Okay, so this will not then result in a change, but everyone who wants to join it is free to join it regardless, okay?
Another technical over there from Helen.
Free to join, meaning if you're distributed somewhere else, you are free to go to that one. Just if it wasn't clear, no problem.
This is fancy. I have a kind of tool to do other technical while sharing the document. Do you also have a document that you can share with the action plans? Because these were the goals that you only mentioned that you want to achieve without any action plan. So is there also a document that you can share which includes the action plans?
I think they can share a document that they have, so maybe they will not be the action points that you expect, but they have a document with the board goals, so they will share everything they have. That's it. I would like to continue now. Thanks for the question, Helen. Is it answered? Kinda. Yeah, you don't have to be happy about it, but I think it's answered. Yeah, sorry. So thank you, the 35th board. I will now close agenda point 37, board report of the current year. And I would like to... And I would like to open agenda point 38, department centralization, and would like to invite our Vice President of Activities, Hannes Martin, on stage. Or you're already there.
Please quiet down and go back. I'm sure we can start soon. This presentation, I start without the slides for. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of different things that went into this presentation. Some of you have been in CMA Verde and might remember the board proposal by the previous board that was raised there that also touched on the departments, but during that CM was not accepted. As we already during our application answered questions on that topic, we said that if it wouldn't be accepted, we would investigate and try to find something that, in our opinion, would approach some of those issues that were pointed out in the departments and generally in different parts of central esteem, and how we think they should be approached. This, what we here presenting, is not a proposal. It is not changing big things in central esteem, which is why we are not, we don't do any changes to how esteem is run, and we are also not doing changes to any parts of our internal regulations. What we're doing here is showing you our vision, so you could imagine it as being an extension of one specific board goal and a bit more on the elaboration, as we already spent quite a lot of time working on that in board meetings and with the leaders and gathering input from other people, especially your feedback on Ilium and direct talks with some interested parties. So, very nice. So let's look at the current situation. Yes, so this department centralization topic is focused on events. So let's take a look at how esteem works if you look in the view of an event. So you have a local group that wants to organize an event, and they work and they are supported by a service. This service has a certain topic. You are familiar with some of them. Ideally, you're familiar with all of them. An example would be brain trainer. And the services are organized in departments. The different departments have similar topics and connect the services that work on similar on those areas, so they can learn from each other and develop themselves and develop the area the department is focused on. Additionally, central esteem has different committees. They are working on certain topics. In the side of events in esteem, they are supporting both the local groups and the service teams on achieving their goals by supporting them with help. They don't have the capabilities there. But this is how the structure is at the moment. This is how it's supposed to be working, but there is some issues in that. Some of them were already presented by the previous board in their proposal, and we wanted to touch them here. So the topic that was presented there was kingdom culture. It's maybe a bit unclear of what it means, but in our understanding, it's that the teams are not focusing on the bigger picture of esteem. They are focusing on themselves and how they can only achieve their goal. And that is, of course, understandable because the leaders got elected for that. But they are taking over a lot of responsibilities. And in the example of services, if they are working with a local group and they're in contact there, they might try to push a local group to organize their event and not look at the needs and the wants of the local groups. So it might not be the ideal event for a local group in that case because the focus is on there. The same is also with people working in there. They might focus on a certain service while they could and maybe even want to provide to esteem as a whole. We have the topic of innovation. The current structures are not really supporting innovation. Innovation meaning how esteem develops new events, how the current events are being developed. And we believe that is our proposal is doing a step to approach those topics. Generally, that is the approach, how esteem is approaching LGs, I already mentioned in the kingdom culture, and we have infrequent necessary skills. So some service teams might only need something designed a few times a year. So they don't really have the needs to call for a PR responsible that works on it. So they have to get the support somewhere else, and because of the current structure, it is a bit hard for them to exactly know how it works, which is by one we want to approach by standardizing and centralizing so it's clear for everyone.
Hannes, please take into account you have 2 more minutes, okay?
Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. So let's look at the actual changes to departments we want to make. The main goal is that services should focus on their key skills, like what they are, on their identity. So if the service has a topic and they organize them, and that is their main value they provide. They work together with the local groups on the service and are in contact there to make the events happen. Then in the department, we want there to be feedback. So our goal is to have every department having people working on feedback together with the services and the local groups to help them. So they're having talks, participants fill out the feedback and the local groups have to look at it. Our goal is to have someone in the services helping the participants with their feedback to understand what is happening and to make sure that they are aware how they can grow from the feedback. And then we want those people to talk with the service leaders and the responsibles in the service team for this event and talk about how the experience was for the local group and give the feedback there and help them to grow. And all of that feedback then can help other services in this department as well because they have similar topics. Also innovation, if there's any projects running, we want to make it clear that there is a place in departments for projects. It could be new initiatives or anything else that has a space in this area. And finally, the committees, we want to have certain responsibilities. For example, CR moved centralized in the committees or PR, and there will be still, as you see, a connection to the departments. The responsibles will be for a department, but they will be part of the specific committees, so the leader that is responsible in guiding the team members will be the committee leader. So it is a deeper connection between them, but we expect to increase the quality of the support for all services by doing that. Let's move on.
Hannes, we're out of time, so if you can wrap it up real fast.
So you can see the impact it will have in our Yes, so we expect that to have a few positive impacts. As I said, services working on what they got elected. The service leaders decided on the service and they want to improve that. We give them the power to focus on their service and not having to do supporting activities, while there's people in central esteem that want to focus on those that decided to apply for a leadership position there. So there will be better inclusion in central esteem because people will work together. So there is more of a culture of an exchange going on, not closed off groups, but a network that works together and that is open for feedback from all sides. This will also give all the services support they need, so if there are certain services with little support, requirements, they still get it from the committees by their department responsibles. And finally, by having people working on multiple services and supporting them, there will be an exchange of PR skills, CR skills between services, which will, in our opinion, improve how that works. As a quick example, you can look on Ilium. There is a post by Adrien on CR centralization that was already done in the first few months of our mandate. That was a huge success, and this is just another step to go on there. And thank you for listening. I believe we have question time, but be aware there's also a parallel session on this topic that will give you time to ask more questions.
Yes, I also unfortunately have to cut question time a bit because we went a bit over time, but Helen, you're standing, do you have a question? Yeah, let's get a mic over there and also a mic over there. I think we only have time for 2 questions, I'm sorry guys. Helen, let's go.
Yes, hello. Helen, firstly, I would like to thank you guys a lot for working on this subject, this area, because in the last council meeting, the motion was declined. So you didn't have to work, but you still put in an effort to work on the solution to find this department centralization. So anyways, my question is related about the the members that will be for all of the like PR, CR, and HR, which will be included in all services, like as a department responsible. Don't you think would it be too much to put this much responsibility on one person? And how would you plan to ensure that you find suitable, that motivated people into the teams, since they are also still a bit struggling with finding people for their services to work on?
Thank you for the question. So if I understood correctly, the focus is on how will the workload be managed by the responsibles and how will we find those people. Okay, so as we saw with the example of CR centralization, in services there is already responsibles that are working on CR for topics. And obviously some departments have more demand in certain areas. So I might have been a bit unclear there, but the goal is not to have one person, but people that are responsible for departments. So if one department has like a lot of demand there, then the goal is for the committee to appoint more people to help out there. So it could be 2 people, it could be a team. But they are part of the CR committee or PR committee, or you understand. And the second part, how we expect to find those people, there is already people working in central esteem on those topics. In CR, they got invited. We asked them if they want to join CRC. A lot of them were moving then from the service, being a service CR responsible, and then in CRC doing similar work. Of course, we are also talking with the service leaders in the example of CRC and looking at what they need and make sure that we find the correct people in esteem.
Okay, thank you. Please keep the questions and the answers a bit shorter. Okay, there's a 2. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is the last question we will have now. Let's get a microphone to Helen. The 2s are prioritized. I'm sorry, guys. We really don't have time for questions. But we have Google Chat, so that's nice.
And also the parallel session.
And the parallel session, even better.
So thank you for you answered my question perfectly. But how would you ensure the sustainability of this working method? Because your board wants to work on this way, but how would you ensure for the future years that this will be the way of working?
Of course, we can't say what the future will bring, but we have different steps that work on this process. We are working with our goals to improve the experience in becoming a leader in central esteem. So we hope that we'll work on improving future leadership generations, how they are able to do their work, which then will lead to those processes being followed. We also expect to have less people that need to do this work, so it will be easier to fill those roles, because I heard from some people that work in services that they sometimes feel a bit like they don't have anything to do. Maybe they do something once a month on some PR thing, and they would actually like to do more. So with that, they have the opportunity to also help in other services, and that would then give them the chance to once get enough done for themselves, supporting esteem how they want, and also for the services to get their needs filled.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Unfortunately, we don't have time for any other questions. Please refer to Google Chats or indeed, as Hannes mentioned, the parallel session. With that, I would like to close agenda point 38, department centralization. And with the next strike of the gavel, I would like to open agenda point 39, introduction to the Financial and Legal Committee. And I would like to ask on stage our Vice President of Finance and our Super Admin.
Hello again. And welcome to the presentation about the Financial and Legal Committee. So we will go over some things, some history about the committee, as it was once already established. We have brought it back. So first, Adrian will tell you a bit more about that, and then we would get into the missions of the committee that are now.
Thank you. So as
some people in this room might know, the Financial and Legal Committee was a committee that existed before in STEAM. However, the last council meeting report from this committee was in 2016, so it was closed quite a long time ago, but we decided to bring it back. Back in time, the mission of the Financial and Legal Committee was to make a STEAM regulatory structure more robust and efficient, provide advice on legal and financial matters, and also increase, maintain, and spread the knowledge on legal and financial matters within the STEAM. So now you might ask yourself, are the mission the same? Well, not exactly. More or less, the name will be the same, but the mission are changing quite a lot.
Guys, I hear some people talking. Please pay attention. Don't talk during the presentations. Go on, Adrian.
So for the Financial and Legal Committee, we defined 3 missions that we will present more in detail afterwards. The first one is ensuring GDPR compliance in the network with the Vice President of Administration. The second one is monitoring, advising, and tracking the investment plan with the Vice President of Finance. And the third one is supporting the board and office team in the restructure of the internal regulation and the membership regulation. And now we will dive a bit into the mission.
So as for ensuring GDPR compliance, as Adrian did a lovely job at explaining, this committee is a new one. So therefore, efforts in this have started from research phases. We have recruited a team member that is responsible for this. You will see it a bit later in the presentation. And we have been researching and reading on past materials, also speaking to some former vice presidents of administration to get kind of their ideas and to get something passed on as well as advice and ideas to continue. And also there is a person who is employed currently that will be helping us, but please, for the questions, there will be a specific presentation going through it. So if the question is not of high relevance, I would suggest leaving it maybe for that presentation. This person, the team as a whole, is working on this. And then some later action points would be, of course, to inspect the state and, of course, the need currently to improve the compliance within the network, not only in central team, but also to continue it on to local groups as well. For those of you who maybe do not know, as a STEAM is an association of associations, meaning each one of your local groups is should be a legal entity in your countries. That means that there are a legal entity, their own association, and they are the members of a STEAM, which means any sharing of information has to be GDPR compliant, as it is 2 different associations. So this is kind of for clarity and why this is important.
1 more minute, guys.
Well, then I will go fast. Now we have monitoring and tracking the investment plan. I already presented this during my investment plan presentation, if you remember, but basically the committee will help me in supporting my workload for tracking the result of the investment plan and all the expenses that we have in the budget. Basically, the task will be to have a master sheet to track and analyze the results, define the metrics that are relevant for the analysis, and work with the concerned leader. And yeah, basically that's it. But we also have, the team is also working on this, and yes, I guess we can go to the next one.
Quickly for this, so internal regulations and membership regulations restructure. This would be, of course, the whole board would be involved in this. And just as a clarification, since it is, if you understand what we mean, it will be more clear, of course. But we don't mean changing what is written. We mean modifying the look, the format, the grammar, the wording, the spelling, because some things are not up to date and are not a clear representation of what is actually supposed to be correct. So this is for that part. And now this is meet the team. So currently Adrian and I are leaders, co-leaders of the committee and kind of board responsibles of each other, because during the open calls, as it is a new committee, and we understand that it's a bit complicated maybe to comprehend. It looks kind of scary. We didn't manage to find a leader, so we are taking care of it until we find a leader. Hopefully, one of these lovely 2 ladies, which is Daphne as our GDPR responsible, and Sena, which is our investment plan consultant. So the team is currently the 4 of us. We're small, but we are mighty. We're working together on all of these goals, and yeah, hopefully make a leader out of these ladies. So, thank you.
So now we have time for 2 questions. Are there people that would like to ask those questions? If there are no questions, it will be even better. Then maybe, oh, where? Erik. Erik, is it about Google Chat action points or not? Oh, okay. Still, a microphone over there would be nice. Maybe scream.
Thank you. Eric Victor Pomyaszyński, local group Gothenburg. My question is, like you guys are a little bit understaffed. The board has taken over a couple of leadership positions. How do you guys feel with that? Because now you're opening up a new committee. Do you feel that you have got a bit too much workload, or what's your plan on managing that?
Thank you. Very good question from Eric. Thank you. So yes, that is true. We are taking care of some entities at board responsible / leaders. Currently, there are no problems. Of course, I'm not saying maybe they will arise, and then it would call for a extraordinary solution of the situation. Definitely. As of now, there haven't been any difficulties. But for Adrian and I, it's also a bit easier since 2 of the 3 missions are very closely related to the projects and the goals we have personally for our positions. So the committee and the girls that are working with us is actually of great support. So it is going well. Of course, we will see. And for the 3rd mission, for the internal regulations and membership regulations, that part has not launched yet, started yet, as we definitely agree we need more team members and someone who would take care of it in our name as well. So definitely, of course, we see the point.
I would also mention that the 2 missions are supporting the workload of the Vice President of Finance and Administration, which means that it's already a workload that we have in our daily work. So basically, for the moment, yes, but when we will have a leader, it will be even less workload for us. I mean, still a huge workload, but you get my point, I guess. So, yeah.
Okay, guys, please keep your answers a bit shorter next time. We don't have any more time for questions, so we have to move on. I'm sorry. But with that, I would like to close agenda point 39, introduction to the Financial and Legal Committee. Oh, there's a technical, so we have to answer that at least. Can we have a microphone to Mikey? Quickly? No? Yes?
Mikey Grimman, LG Eindhoven. I really want to clarify once again, especially for the delegates, there's so little time. Keep a good eye on Google Chat. There's a lot of critical questions, but also good answers by the board, and it's very important that you also look at these very well.
Thank you, Mikey. I'm not sure if it was easy to hear, but indeed there are very good questions in the Google Chats. Look at them as well. Yeah, and get more knowledge about this team. Now I will actually close the agenda point 39, introduction to the Financial and Legal Committee. Yeah. And then we will move on to project reports. So with the next strike of the gavel, I open agenda point 40, project reports. And we have a very nice presentation for the 17th Council meeting in Calabria from Emmanuel and Vincenzo. Sorry. Can we have a microphone over there again? Technical question.
Deniz Kutlu, LG Ankara Bilkent. Can you guys update the Google Chats regarding which agenda point we are on, because it's quite behind right now.
Yeah. I think you shall update agenda points now in Google Chats. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry for the wait, but it's kind of a few people doing a lot of stuff, so please just a bit of patience. It will be there very shortly. I apologize for the wait.
Okay, CM Calabria. Let's go.
Hello everyone again. Yeah, we are a local group Calabria, as you see. We are so many in this council meeting just because we wanted to be like as many people as possible to have more understanding about the council meeting. That's like the highest number of people from LG Calabria have in the council meeting, so we're so excited for that. And I think it's like a record. So, about this council meeting, this is the agenda, so we will tell you more about how is it going on in our local group about this organization stuff. So we're going to talk about accommodation stuff, GA rooms, and all the things that you see there. So starting from, it's not going, okay. So how is it going on? Starting from the accommodation stuff, we were working on 4 different hotels, which are all located in the same area. You will see that LG Calabria, like the area, like the city of LG Calabria, is it's not like a bigger city. It's not like a Europe capital. So you will have like the accommodation all like basically in the same place, not like in the same hotels, but basically in the same area, which could be like very helpful for logistic stuff, going to GA all together and something like that. And we about accommodation, we already have booked almost like at a minimum of 220 places to a maximum of 240 places. And about the accommodation more specifically, I will show you some pictures and information, if this works. Yeah, about what kind of accommodation we have already booked. So this is the accommodation 1, Majoran apartment. We already booked like 60 places there. They are actually apartments in quadruple rooms, so rooms for 4 people. And the GA is about like 10 minutes by walk from this place. There are some pictures of the room. The accommodation 2 actually is President Hotel. We already booked a minimum of 80 to 100 places. These numbers changes because there's like a little bit of variability about it, because we didn't like sign the contract yet, but we are about to do that, so we're going to define more specifically the exact number in some weeks. So this is very nice hotel too. They are 4-star hotels, though it would be very nice for you. Again, yeah. The other one is Hotel Domus. It's very similar to the present one. It would be like double rooms, so rooms with maximum of 2 people. And the GA would be like 50 minutes by walk from there. And the final one is university residences. We didn't like book this yet, because we have to wait some information, like some more information from our university to do that, but it's actually like really near to the GA room, like 2 minutes by walk. It's like inside the campus, so it would be like very helpful. So I'm gonna speed up. Okay, about the transportation. This is about the transportation during the event. So as you have seen, like all the things, like accommodation stuff, accommodation places are very near to the GA. So what are in our mind is to have like mostly transportation by walk, because it's all like inside the campus or inside the city. So you have like all the places 10, 15 at least, at maximum 20 minutes by each other. So it's very near. But actually we will talk with our transportation service, like city services, which is Aerobus, which is like the provider of transportation in our city. So we'll talk about it if we can have like a deal with them. And also Uber, it could be helpful. It might be strange for you, but actually Uber didn't exist in Italy, especially in our in our local group, like in our region, some months ago. So for now, it's now new to have it in our places, so it could be helpful too. About the GA room, we already booked actually two kind of GA rooms, like a plan A and plan B, just to be sure. The first one is Aula Magna, which is a room very similar to this one. It's like the biggest room in our university, and yeah, of course, it's equipped with all the tools needed. The plan B, which is also a nice one, is Aula Caldora. Okay, Aula Caldora, which is a little bit smaller than the first one, but actually has so many advantages because it's really like upstairs to the canteen, like the similar as one. So it's very, it could be very helpful for all the logistic stuff. But yeah, it's a little bit smaller. Talking about like some work in progress that we have about canteen, about food in general, we will listen and talk with the university about also the canteen in order to have more like a better logistics also during the night and the days, of course. And about the night activities, we are in talk with some provider of like some clubs that we usually go there. So it's still work in progress, but just because it's like a little bit too early to talk about the exact dates of the night activities, so we're still waiting to talk with these people, like, because we just want to have like a schedule before and then go with that, but we are really in touch with them, so it cannot be...
Last 30 seconds.
Yeah. Sure. About main sponsor, as already presented in Aveiro, the main sponsor of the event is UPIS. UPIS is like a European alliance commissioned by empowered by the European Commission. And they will provide us like the accommodation stuff. All the accommodations will be paid by them because also a group of them will be during the council meeting. And we were in touch with, we were making a deal about if they also paid the canteen for us. And about sponsorship also, LG Alumni Calabria is very strong. We have so many strong connections with them, and they have strong connection with so many companies. So in our mind, one of the points about sponsorship could be having like LG Calabria alumni helping us for that. And on the last day, we are working also with the board if we are, we will be managing to have like the last day of GA in Tropea, which is this beautiful place here on the beach. So it could be something, I don't know if we can manage to do that, but yeah. I'm sure that you're guessing how you get to Calabria. So there are like three major airports. The first two ones are in Calabria. They are International Airport for Lamezia and International Airport for Reggio Calabria. Also, International Airport of Naples is very near. And you can find Iterbus, Flixbus, and Trenitalia, which is like the two major provider of bus in Italy, and Trenitalia, which is trains to reach more specifically Calabria. And also, like, there are so many new connections with airports in Calabria. Like Ryanair is investing so a lot with the government of Calabria in order to have more flights direct flights to Calabria. Okay, the final question is about when is going to happen. So, from the 5th of May to the 11th of May 2025. And yeah, that's all. Thank you. Thank you so much for the attention. I hope to see you, as many as you, in Calabria next year. Thank you.
Okay, so now we have question time. Are there people standing? Oh, okay. But we have a question over there. Oh, here, a delegate first. Technical even. Okay, let's go. Can we have a mic over here? No, the mic is coming.
Hello, Eat from Algeism Economy. Can you send the presentation in Google Chat? I just wanna see it.
Sorry, I didn't fully understand. Can you repeat that?
Just, I want the presentation in Google Chat.
Ah, okay.
Can someone
presentation in Google Chats. Okay, all good. Please give the mic to LGPF.
Hi guys, Anna Bramets, Kyiv. So my question is, do you know already something about participation fee? Because it seems to be like maybe expensive or not.
Yeah. As we already presented, thanks for the question, first of all. As we already presented in Aveiro during our application, we are about having like a 100 participation fee, 100 euro participation fee. Maybe there could be some changes, but in our mind, it could be like a maximum of 105. So as we presented in Aveiro, the main objective is, main goal is to keep and maintain the participation fee at maximum of 100 euros. But due to some things, can be also changed to 105. It is very expensive, actually, also because, as I said, Calabria is not like a big city, our local group is not a big city, so all the accommodation stuff in our 4 hotels, like we don't have so many hostels to host 300 people with a cheaper way, but we have this sponsor, UPs, which is like a really big project, European project. They're going to join us too during the council meeting. So yeah, the main deal is when, okay, we are offer you this big event, like the biggest event of industrial engineering students in the whole Europe, and you are supporting us with all the financial stuff. So we are trying to work on it. Yeah, thanks for the question.
Okay, thank you very much, LG Calabria. One more applause, let's go.
Thank you.
Calabria, la la la la la la, si in Calabria, la la la la la, si in Calabria, la la la la la la. Okay, thank you. We have to move on, sorry. Yeah, I will still keep the agenda point project reports open because now we have a very nice report or a presentation for the Times Final 2025 Aachen, and I would like to call Paul Katsoupis on stage.
Hello, I'm Paul, project leader for the Times Final 2025. For those of you who don't know what a Times Final is, Times is the yearly case study competition that STEAM offers, and yeah, next year it's going to happen in Aachen. So yeah, I'm here to share a quick little update on what has been done in the past year, half year. And I'm trying to be a bit more efficient than last time. I will try to implement your feedback. Yeah, I have divided this presentation in 4 parts. First up, I'm going to talk about sponsors, then about support from university/city, accommodation and logistics, and lastly, we will take a look at the renewed budget. Yeah, first up, sponsors. We don't have any yet because we haven't started approaching them yet, but our catalog is finished. Looks somewhat like this. And yeah, it also, it also includes reviewed packages that we offer to companies. We are still trying for 2 case study partners for 4,000 euros each. We are trying to have 2 workshops on the 3rd day of the event for 1,250 euros each. And then we are having a welcoming fair. We're trying to have around 3 companies there for 750 euros each. And additionally, there is also, we will also be trying to acquire companies for an additional jury seat for 500 euros. Yeah, next point, support from the university. We have reached out to the rector. He has confirmed his patronage for the event. So yeah, at the beginning of the catalog, we will have this little quote ensuring us some integrity when it comes to approaching the companies. So that's cool. And also, yeah, we are in contact with the city right now, trying for some financial support or at least some facilities for gala dinner or the fair. Yeah, talking about logistics, the event is going to take place between the 23rd and the 27th of June of next year, so save the date. And yeah, accommodation-wise, we have now, yeah, we have booked the A&O hostel near the central station. It is, it offers 4 bedrooms for 36 people with breakfast for a price of 4,300 euros, which is actually 1,200 euros less than originally budgeted, leading to smaller expenses. And when we look at the income side, this is kind of like the worst case, the case where we just get, yeah, the least amount of sponsors, and we would still be in a small profit, and that is not considering potential city support, that is not considering potential additional jury members, and also not considering food and drink sponsors that we will be trying to go for. Yeah, and that's it pretty much. I know a bit underwhelming compared to the last presentation, my team versus their team. No, I'm kidding. I would like to shout out, yeah, my friends who are, yeah, working with me on this. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Then there's time again for questions. I don't see any questions. Well, very nice presentation, very clear. Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you.
And then we go to, oh, was there a question? I see someone stand. Oh, sorry. Then we go to the last part of the project reports. We have a video on the ST magazine.
Hello everyone, I am Slana. I am the current ST magazine leader, and today I will report the last updates and current situation of ST magazine. First of all, for the 67th issue of ST magazine, we have decided to sell the magazine as a low-priced merchandise during council meetings. This approach will enhance the magazine's accessibility and foster greater interest and engagement within the ST. Also, I have built a highly motivated team for ST Magazine. To maintain their motivation, I meet with my team members individually, both online and in person. This approach not only helps them to stay engaged, and also may also encourage them to apply for ST Magazine leadership position in the next mandate. We also conducted a poll on the official ST Instagram account to determine what topics our community would like to see in the upcoming issue of ST Magazine. Thriving in Balance received the most votes with 34 people showing strong interest in this topic. And also Engineering in a Greener Tomorrow was popular, gathering 29 votes. As a result, we have included it as a subtopic and approached authors to explore themes such as circular economy and sustainability. By using these poll results, we aim to broaden the ST Magazine's appeal and increase the reader engagement. Also, we have organized Adobe InDesign workshop led by our former Vice President of PR, LXIX, to support our team's skill development. To ensure the continuity of design team, we recognize the need for dedicated designers, since learning in design from scratch requires a lot of time and effort. Also, our future plans about SE Magazine is to organize collaborative coordination meeting with PRC, and also we are planning to create a sustainable design team for the next issue because we had a hard time while designing that issue. Also, our focus topic will be about 25th anniversary of STEAM. Please stay tuned and enjoy STEAM Magazine.
Okay, please ask your questions on Google Chat. And with that, I would like to close agenda point 40, project reports. And now we'll open up agenda point 41, a motion follow-up, which states review value proposition and increase the impact of the STEAM magazine. And I would love to ask Robert Zastro to come to the stage. Did I open it?
All right, just while opening the page, we'll put a quick so I'll be asking to stand up and leave up. Well, so sitting up on the place, so it's actually super simple. We'll just count to 5 on each list, so 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5. And then continue with 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 to get the idea. Yes, and then we'll try to do it fast. So let's start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 'All right. Then to not waste any time, but I'll still quickly ask, who of you was present in Aveiro? Like quick show of hands, very quick. Okay, so that's actually about half, quite some people at least. So, but just to maybe check up the people that weren't there yet, at the end of CM Aveiro on the final day, there was a motion proposed on the magazine. I'll go to the contents in a little bit. But yeah, so that took quite some time, was one of the reasons why actually we ended our CM outside, but also then thankfully, because we made very nice pictures outside and actually was a very beautiful moment. But that said, this motion is binding me to make this report on the magazine. Also, excuse you, just already Silanaz, which is my very, very, very wonderful magazine leader. I can't thank her much for her work in the last months. But I'll come more to the results of that in a bit. But yeah, so the motion proposed back in Aveiro is this little beauty. So this is the one that finally got voted. Just so you know, no need to read through it exactly. Maybe, does it later point work? Not really. All right, then I'll just, sorry. There you go. So I'll just explain it really quickly. In the first part, it was about reviewing the value proposition, so saying what works, what doesn't work, and also maybe about possible alternatives that could make things work that didn't work before, or like possible plans that could alleviate the long tradition of magazine that we currently have, or at least ways how we can maybe make the current model slightly better, or much better, in a way to solve certain issues that we also need to analyze. And in a second part, to give some data on the current state of magazine and report on that and yes, conduct a study. So I'll get straight to the point, which is this is the magazine's mission, but I think it actually doesn't quite explain the value proposition. So I've made specific points for this one, which I'll go through one by one. misspoken the title, I'm sorry. So this is the one, what is the actual, this was the questions, what is the actual value proposition of the magazine? So one is the big one, it's share esteem of thought. We just had the points on the board goals on advocacy. This is definitely one of the channels, and also one of our longest standing channels, as this magazine is there since the 90s, so it's been a very, very long ongoing process. And it's a very official environment. So every year, every half year, there's esteemers coming out and being able to get their first experiences or continue their experiences in writing articles for a still magazine with a decent readership, which is an opportunity that is very hard to find basically anywhere else. We are also the biggest IEM magazine in Europe. So that is definitely something which I wanted to point out right here. Also, it has advantages for it to be physical. It can be publicly displayed, for example, in an LG office. I really invite you to do that. Also, it gives you the ability to look into the past. We actually made that in our most recent edition, which I'll come to in a bit, where we have a section called Blast to the Past, which basically shows our articles from the past and maybe reflects a bit on how we developed since then. This one will actually be on the internet, which in the 90s had a bit of a different description than today. But yes, maybe you can read it when getting your magazine. Finally, last but not least, CR potential. So we already currently have in our contracts, in our CR, the need for us to put ads in our magazine, and we're already today collecting money from it. But I do see potential for increasing this in the future with increased readership, with increased awareness. But that is definitely also something to not be denied. But as we do want to be transparent as far as possible, I will also try to name the negative points, or what has not been working until here, because it is the fair thing to do, and it's also the only way how we can find out to make things better. So I'll go through those as well, which is still, honestly, a relatively low readership. It's not that bad, it still goes online into the hundreds, and also much more than that in the printed version. But it could be much, much more. It used to be much, much more. So that is definitely something that has a lot of potential. Print magazine can seem like an outdated medium. That is true today. More and more magazines are running over to more of an online format. We have some things planned of that. I don't want to completely give up because of this agents of publicity. You can stroll through it at GA. You can publicize it in your LG office. So I'll go more about this later. And finally, inside the past year, so until July of last year, there was actually never a real big team working on it. It was mostly VPPR, past VPPR, or also maybe one leader later, Selenas, was engaged on the second edition, which helped out for the magazine, which of course was very optimal. This was a lot of workload for both of those, especially also VPPR, which I also have some other things to do. So that was a big problem and indeed a big concern. But maybe I'll kind of touch on how we're planning or how we're already trying to address those issues. The first one being on the readership. So in general, more engaging contents. We tried to include some, everything from recipe pages to this Blast of the Past, which maybe makes things a bit more or less just those normal articles you would find in other places as well. And we also, that's actually a big one, we want to listen to what esteemers want. So maybe if you followed our Instagram, and well, if you don't, I will highly advise you to do.
Last 30 seconds, Rob.
Yes, I'll be quick. It's 2 last points and then I'm there. So, yes, catch my thought again. So listeners posted and made a poll on different possibilities for the focus topic for this year's magazine to be. And then decided, and then took the one that got the most votes. So we asked the people what they wanted to see and hopefully get more engagement to that. Also, we have a digital magazine which on issue already, but the readership is very low, and also the main problem of this, it's actually regional blocked in a lot of our biggest regions, like for instance Turkey. So that is definitely something that we want to fix with the next portal update, the WordPress. Maybe the leaders hear about it. So basically there's a new version of there, what we want to bring out. And we definitely plan and already have tested plugins to implement it there. And then finally, on the past year, I can actually report, Selena's already mentioned it in her report, that we have a team again yeah, that is working on it. It's actually over 5 people. We have quite a crowd and are hoping to do our best to kind of get them through the years, get a good successor for Solanas after CM Calabria, and from there on build a consistent team. Of course, we have no assurance, like we cannot guarantee what will happen in 1 or 2 years, but we will try our best to keep it as sustainable as possible and, yeah, basically make the most out of it. Very last slide. So possible alternatives. An Esteem blog, this was tried before. The leaderships were very, very low, even much lower than whatever we already have with the online magazine part. So that's, sadly, we were like thinking that this would probably not be a good alternative. Another thing which was also mentioned is to stop the printing. It is a big cost of what we have, and basically only offer it online. And although that is something worth to be thought about, most of the work, at least from my perspective and also from the team's perspective, is in just the creation of the magazine. And of course, it does cost money to print, but it is not money is not really the first problem of Esteem currently, and also in the future is not expected to be directly, and can then later also be presented with more CR especially, etc. So that one was also not really regarded as that valid by us, but what indeed could be a valid opinion is what is standing here. So instead of no printing only online, have it less printing or on-demand printing. You already noticed we had it at the magazine in the merge form earlier, so some people of you ordered it. You can actually pick it up at lunch, so good news for you there. And then present it mostly online and promote it to there as soon as we have the new website for that ready. That's it. I'm already way over time, but it's actually very good because for the whole second part, we have, which is the reporting, we have the following problem. In the whole last year, because of censorship regulations or lack of time, it was not possible for the previous generation to print any magazines. So with the team, we decided that it would be very silly to ask people to say how they use an offline magazine that they do not have. So that is why we will be handing out magazines this very lunch, and then in the afternoon, we'll be posting like a poll for you to report on the magazine, on potential users, on uses that you know have been happening in the past, and then report on it until the end of this council meeting, so we are still fulfilling those legal duties. I'm already way over time, so I'll finish it right here. But yes, so this is not the last time you hear about this from me. There will be a second, at least, report on this after this, and yeah, I'll give it back to the chair.
Thank you, Rob. Please next time respect the time a bit more, but okay. Luckily we have a big lunch break, so it's okay for now. But I see a question over there. Sebastian, any other questions? Can I get a microphone over there? And after that we will go to Adrian.
Sebastian Stark, LG Berlin, thank you very much for following up on the motion. You talked about possible alternatives and that you have like an idea what you want to do. How's the stand? How do you want to follow up on this?
So follow up on the other alternatives?
On the alternative that you think is most suitable.
In our opinion, we already followed up on it in this very council meeting. We already here have a possibility of in-demand printing. There's already, like, maybe I could have clarified that. Every local group of you guys, every delegate row here, will during the lunch get one magazine. So that's already, that is a bit less than, like, there was much more printed in the past, which was much more costly, except in the last year where there was other hindrances being in the way. But yes, indeed, so that will be basically given out, so it's already less printing, and we are already trying to make things on demand and have plans to set it up online. So I think this can still happen within my, how do you say?
Mandate.
Yes, exactly, my mandate. And yeah, I will make sure to follow up on exactly this point what I just said.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go. I also want to see a microphone over there, and then we have a delegate with the last question, but Adrian can go, it's fine.
Adrian from Karlsruhe. You said that ISO is region blocked in some regions and that you're looking for alternatives on the Steam portal or something. Are you considering the situation that some governments will try to block a Steam website because of that, because of because of laws against magazines?
Fair question. So as far as so to respond to that, as far as I'm aware, the blocks on issue, for example, in Turkey, are mostly due to the general things that it's just say that some governments have a more or less open view on press and open view on publicly publicizing information. So it's more issue as a platform rather than just the SD magazine that is blocked. So I would vouch as highly, highly unlikely that, that this platform then on the Esteem portal will be blocked because of this in those relevant countries. So I don't think this would be a problem. However, if anybody has any info on that, of course, I'm always open to hear out to not get into the worst case. But like I said, I think this would be very, very unlikely.
Erik Nauwerk, LG Gothenburg. To increase readership, have you considered publishing it on other places, like online, than just on the Steam webpage, for example?
Yes, that's what I mean with the portal. So, yes, there is like a new kind of part of the portal, or like new website of Steam planned to launch still inside of our in our mandate, and that one will be on WordPress, where you can quite easily integrate through plugins a magazine like this one. I've already tested personally some alternatives. Of course, in the real website, we'll then try it out again there. But there has been already like tested ways there, and this is definitely on the pipeline. Like I'm envisioning it. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Very last question. I hope it's a quick one. Let's go.
I just tried to, Maria Fanschel, LG Darmstadt. I just tried to find the magazine on the portal and did not find it. Can you tell me where it is?
It is, like this is what I said, it's not on the portal yet. We're trying to make it in this new version happen as fast as possible. Maybe even like as a short-term fix in the next weeks, we can maybe even implement just a link to the issue for now, for the people using a VPN or for the people being in the non-affected regions. However, the goal is very clearly to mostly push towards this included platform inside of our future WordPress, because it's just the most integrated and the most also like cost-saving solutions for us.
Thank you for clarifying.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rob. Then I would like to close I will close agenda point 41, motion follow-up, review value proposition, and increase the impact of the Esteem magazine.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find those again after the lunch and your thoughts, or if you have ordered it, probably at the merch stand. But that's going to be on Seville.
Okay, before going to lunch, we have a few announcements. First of all, there's a lovely Calabria sweater over here, so if someone lost it, please come pick it up. Then we have an announcement from Lucia, and afterwards we go to an announcement to Alancito.
So hi guys, when it comes to the payroll sessions, as you know by the agenda we will have the lunch, and afterwards we will have payroll sessions, room distribution, so meaning which session is in which room is already on Google Chat. When it comes to participant distribution, it has been sent a few days ago, but if anyone needs it, just ask someone to help you find it. As we said, the distribution stays, but whoever wants to come to the board goals one, they're completely free to join, no problem. It will be here in the GA room. And as a follow-up to Mikey's suggestion, to just remind you that the board goals, it's very important for you to be there, for you to have a clear overview, to ask us questions, not only for this, but in general during the council meeting, ask as many questions as you want. And you feel like you or your local groups need. So once again, it is very important for you to understand it, especially if there are some inconsistencies, clarifications needed, anything that you feel like should be shared, so we also know, of course. So that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have an organizer announcement about the merch, and probably also the lunch. Oh, sorry. Let's get a microphone to Emir first.
Emir Mut from LG Istanbul Yıldız. So just to clarify, are we allowed to be in like board goal parallel session even though we're in a different parallel session?
So yes, if you want to attend the board goals one, you are free to attend it at any of the two slots. So it will be repeated once for an hour, and then the second time the same content, of course, different questions, but from our side.